Good morning, folks. Just a little bit asleep at the switch this morning. But, I think you should, try to show a little understanding considering the fact that I wasn't planning on making a video this morning. But I just want to take a few minutes for a short take here. Of course, we would go here because we are the United States of conspiracy theories. We have slipped completely as a nation on the fact scale, right? We now operate on the notion that we can say whatever we want and create havoc because, hey, free speech. You know what I mean? First Amendment rights. So let's talk here. So the whole Baltic Sea methane leak. Of course, we had the right wing, starting this one. That methane leak was created and started by the Biden administration to get back at Russia. I'd like to talk to you a little bit about that. The fact of the matter is, we're gonna share a screen just for a few minutes because I got two topics of utter bullshit to talk about this morning, and one doesn't require a sharing of the screen. So just hang on here a minute because this one actually does. So let's talk about this methane leak, okay? Let's read the title. Methane blast in the Baltic Sea highlights global problem. Generally speaking, these methane leaks underwater occur when there is damage to the pipe and no one fixes it. Then it results in a blast and it results in releasing methane. But the fact of the matter is there are 1,500 methane leaks going on at any one moment, at any time, anywhere in the world, as proven by satellite, okay? The fact of the matter is that methane is leaked into the atmosphere. Some companies capture it well and do well with it. Other companies don't do so well with it. And the reality is that companies are self-reporters, so they are all underreporting what is being leaked into the atmosphere. And you might find this hard to believe, but Turkmenistan is the worst at capturing methane. And Saudi Arabia is the best at capturing methane, and the United States is somewhere dismally in between those two. We don't do a very good job, okay? And the reason that the Baltic Sea methane leak looks bad is because it's concentrated, but actually there are methane leaks going directly out into the atmosphere from companies that are far worse than that leak. Let's get a clue here, folks. Nobody is making that methane leak to get back at anyone. It doesn't harm any one group of people. It harms the entire fucking earth, okay? It is not effective as a weapon, all right? And it is not effective as sabotage when you have literally, I mean, there are 1,500 major leaks globally, okay? Most of the emissions from the oil and gas industry come from pipelines and compressor stations, okay? They see this from satellites up in the air, okay? They're not accidental leaks either, most of them. They occur when companies perform routine maintenance. When a pipeline needs repair, operators need to bleed gas out so they can weld without an explosion. But instead of capturing the gas, most companies just open the pipeline and release the methane into the air, which is legal in the US and elsewhere, by the way. But that doesn't mean it should be. No, sorry, folks, it does not mean it should be. But if you are, of course, in the GOP and on the right wing, you are a climate change denier, okay? Because, Hurricane Ian happened because it's God's way of getting back at the depraved people in the LGBT community and transgender community. It's not because global warming gets worse every year, so these storms get worse every year. But that's actually what's happening. Okay. And what do these companies do? When they have to reduce methane emissions, they flare or burn it off. That's what they consider a solution to excess gas. They do this when they drill for oil. And if they don't have the pipeline infrastructure to transport it to customers, or if they've decided that the gas, which is generally cheaper than oil, isn't worth the effort, they just may burn it off without capturing any of it. Understand here? So let's get real. There was a study just released recently at the University of Michigan that found that flaring releases 5 times more methane into the US than previously thought. Flares, they found, are often unlit or not working, allowing gas to escape directly into the atmosphere. And if they fixed that infrastructure, if they ensured that flares are working properly, they could really reduce methane emissions. Methane is a major contributor to climate change. So once again, my friends, get a clue. All right. There is something that needs to be said about all of this. In order to make accusations like that, and I'm talking to the people who listen to this shit as much as I'm talking to the people who are spreading this shit with a butter knife, okay? In order to make those accusations, you need what we call evidence. If you took that to a fucking court of law, they'd throw you right the fuck out the door if you couldn't present anything. But that doesn't matter on social media, because all that matters is the court of public opinion, which really isn't very bright these days in the United States or anywhere else. We've become a total society of conspiracy theories. So let me lead right into my next issue. Post right after Hurricane Ian. Was Hurricane Ian Haarp? Haarp? Was it? I don't know. Was it? No, what it was a hurricane. Like we have many hurricanes during the weather season, only it's getting worse. Okay, it's getting worse because of global warming, which is caused by shit like methane, and it's all tied in together, but it isn't Haarp. No, unless you can provide some kind of documentation that you maybe got by, requesting a FOIA release, or found some documentation that somebody miraculously located somewhere and released to a legitimate news source. You're spreading shit. And there are plenty of people who have died in Hurricane Ian, and there are plenty of communities who are devastated by Hurricane Ian. Amelia Island is uninhabitable now. It's uninhabitable because every year global warming gets worse and these storms get fucking worse. And when the winter comes, we're going to see storms worsening there too. It's not like we need to go out and look for problems. These people who spread this bullshit, and I'm not going to mention any names, but they really fucking irritate me, because we have shit staring us right in the face that nobody wants to talk about. No one wants to talk about fascism here. Nobody wants to talk about voting in the midterms to get rid of the fascists here, and the people who have actually caused misinformation to be the big new hot topic in America. If you can spread bullshit and get people to click, and like, and spread, you feel like you've accomplished something. You've accomplished nothing but misinforming the public once again. Shut the fuck up, okay? And take a look at what's going on around you, and maybe you should apply some, practices that will help arrest the process of where we are headed come November 8th. But no, it's much easier to spread shit that can't be proven, so you can sit back and watch your hit numbers go up. Shut the fuck up. You people really do piss me off. I'll talk to you later.